Hi guys, Rosalie Reeds here, and I know it's definitely been a minute. I haven't really been online actively as much as I should be. I haven't really been filming, I haven't really been recording, and I really do have good reasons for that. Ones that we will get into. I just, right now, I'm in the middle of like a really bad book burnout, book slump, many things going on right now. My mental health has been declining a lot recently, so I just haven't been in the right mindset to record. It's been a lot of everything recently, and when I'm like in it, I'm in it. Like I can't focus on anything else, so I haven't really been able to focus on the channel. I haven't had the energy. When I was 10 years old, I was diagnosed with really like clinical depression, high functioning. So essentially, I do succeed in life, okay? To other people, it's what it seems. It doesn't really seem like I'm a very depressed person, but I come home and I'm kind of just drained. I don't want to do anything. And, it's flippant. I feel like I have times where I'm better, and then I have times where it comes back and it just like hits me in the face all at once. So it's not really a good time when I'm like alone at night. I experience really depressive episodes, and it's not healthy. But like at the same time, I really can't like afford a therapist or anything to deal with it. I did recently start journaling, so that's kind of like I've always had a hard time expressing my emotions, so that's kind of where I'm using that as an outlet right now. And again, it's just been a lot going on to where I'm just like declining mentally everywhere. Can y'all stop? And it really doesn't feel like I have a safe space other than that to do that right now. To me personally, I'm not saying that there's not any safe spaces, but to me, growing up the way that I grew up, you hid your emotions a lot because you walked on eggshells around other people to keep the peace, and that's just how I've grown up. So I don't really have a sort of good coping system from everything that I grew up with. And on top of that, I was already in a book slump. I was already experiencing book burnout, so I haven't been reading as much. And then it just got worse because within like the past few weeks, my mental health's just been really declining. So it's just been a roller coaster all around. That's where I've been the past few weeks. And since I started journaling for myself, I've come to a lot of realizations and reflecting. So that's kind of hitting me in the face as well, because I'm just like, wow. And today I was reflecting more so on terms of my YouTube channel, in terms of reading, and I've just come to the realization that I just don't really enjoy reading anymore like I used to. And I want to enjoy reading like I used to, because I used to be like a really big method of escapism for me, and right now it feels like I don't have that. So I'm kind of just in a slump of where I am with life. I don't feel happy with my life. I don't feel happy with myself. I don't feel happy with like a lot of things right now. And I don't know. I've just been having a tough time in general. So the reflecting that I did today was more so on the fact that I don't feel happy with reading. I don't feel happy with what I'm reading. I feel like after thinking about it, I've come to the realization that books today just aren't as good because we have such a bigger community now. So it's more quantity over quality in the publishing community. So a lot of stuff's coming out very half-assed. So that's like, I feel like it's a mix of that and also just me declining, that I'm just not enjoying reading anymore, which I want to get to that point again where I'm reading more and more again, But at the same point, I want to read stuff that I love, and I want to read stuff that's high quality, that I know I'll enjoy, instead of just reading for the sake of reading, because I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately, where I'm just reading for the sake of reading, and I'm not really enjoying anything that I'm reading or what's coming out of it. So I'm kind of just, the way I want to try to combat this is kind of like reading stuff specifically I know I'll really, really enjoy. Like books that I'll possibly give 5 stars. I want to stop reading standalones, and I want to go more into series, because I feel like I'm more content when I'm reading series, and because it's more connecting to the storyline. It's more just, I'm way happier when I'm having like a connection to a story, and I feel like with standalones or with series that are like companion books, or like standalones in a series where it's connecting with the characters, I feel like I'm just not having like a great time with those. And I kind of feel like I'm just not getting a lot of depth out of those anymore. So I kind of just want to read books where I feel like I'm going to get the most authentic feel from them. And right now, with like most of the books that are being released right now, I'm just not having that. And it's really sad, honestly, because like I look back at my younger self. Like I've always read, but like middle school was when my love for reading got amped up, and then it gradually just built up into 2021, where I first started high school, and all I wanted to do was read. I would read all day, all night, read books in a day, like big books too. Like I remember the starting books that I read off campus, Daisy Jones and the Six, and those were all really good, but they're not. But it was also the beginning of my reading journey. There wasn't great quality, because I didn't know what was good yet, because I was coming out of kids' books into adult novels that have a lot more depth into them, but not clearly enough, because I read those books now and I'm like, wow, this is not what I would go for now. And I think that's just me growing as a person as well, where I realized more what I do like and what I don't like in books. And right now, like any of the books being published, I'm not enjoying them. So I kind of just want to, I'm kind of leaning more towards fantasy, which could also like fuck me over in the long run, since I'm in a book burnout and a book slump. But at the same time, I want to read so bad, and I want to like just really enjoy something, that I kind of just leaning more towards, I want to read more fantasy, so that way I'm happier with the depth. You get a lot more story. You have characters that are more involved in a bigger picture. Just series in general that are more heartfelt and more dealing with emotions, and more like series like Throne of Glass. Like I kind of just want that all around, because I feel so connected to the characters. I feel like there's so much that could come from the series, that I've like, the series has literally changed my life. Okay, it's literally teaching you kindness. It's giving you a life lesson, and it's so authentic, and it's so much being like brought into the story. So I kind of just want to maintain that mindset, and just really, I really want to lock in reading again. But it's so hard to, when everything I'm consuming is just stuff that I don't like, and it's really hard, because I really love reading, and it's like I'm having such a hard time dealing with it. It's like constant struggle with myself nowadays. And being in one of my episodes, like this is like the longest I've been in an episode, I think. So, and it was basically like it was building up to this point, and it's just gotten so much worse, because like I felt it building up, but I'm just not a happy person right now. And like I feel like it's important that I share with you guys like my mental, where I'm at, because I'm not a perfect human being, nor is anybody else, but I'm kind of just like in a about So I wanna look back as well, which is also why I started reflecting and journaling. I want to be able to express my emotions first off. I want to be able to talk to something about my emotions because it's not healthy for me to just keep it bottled up if I don't. So that's kind of my only solution for right now. But yeah, that was kind of where I've been at these past few weeks because I haven't really updated you guys at all. I haven't recorded anything, haven't really read anything with substance where I felt happy enough to put it into video, which I tried to do like a 24-hour vlog 2 weeks ago, and that didn't really go the way that I planned it, so I just scrapped the idea altogether because I just wasn't happy with what was going on when I was doing that. Like, I think I read one book in that video that I was recording, and I literally only got to 3 books in before I gave up because I was just like, I'm not, like, nothing's coming to fruition. I read Leave Me Behind. It is a dark romance, like, military novel. And I loved it, but it wasn't hitting still. And that was, like, I think the point in time where I was like, yeah, it's just not, reading's just not hitting for me anymore as it should be, as I want it to be. And I really don't want to get it to a point where I have to take a break from reading altogether and not read for like a year or two, just an extensive amount of time, because just doing that gives me like the heebie-jeebies. And then coming back and then being like, oh, I love reading again. Because I really don't want to take a break from reading because it's such like, it holds such a special place in my heart because of everything I've gone through and reading being the only escapism for me. So I don't want to give it up, but at the same time, it's getting close to that point. But I'm kind of trying like every last resort before I get to that. And that would really be like a hiatus on the channel, and I really don't want to do that either. But at the same time, like if it gets to that point, I have to get to that point. But yeah, basically, moral of the story, I just want to read more quality over quantity in books because I'm just having a hard time enjoying what I'm reading right now. I'm really skeptic on all the books I'm reading right now. So like, I really just want to read in-depth, long series, and I'm kind of gearing towards fantasy right now because I feel like I'll get that from that, and I'll have more of a good time with that. So my friend Jess, I'm probably going to end up talking to her because she reads like a lot of fantasy. She reads more fantasy than I do, and she has more so similar tastes to me. So I'm hoping I could get some out of her. Like, obviously, like I want to read Crescent Cities and stuff because I feel like that will be into depth too, because I hear it's very complex, even though like it's an urban fantasy. But at the same point, like it'll still be easy enough for me to read them. Like, because I want to get into fantasy. I feel like that's my easiest option right now. I don't know. If you guys have like any ideas for like book series like that aren't like, because I'm still going to consider myself like a beginning fantasy reader because I didn't start reading fantasy until this year. No, last year with like Akatar and stuff like Shatter Me. I started that, which is kind of like beginner fantasy too, because that one's kind of also like urban fantasy. But that was like my first experience with fantasy was Shatter Me, and then I started reading Akatar, and then I started reading a few in between, and then I got to Throne of Glass, and just like Terea Mafi and Sarah J. Maas are kind of just like my blueprint right now. I haven't really read anything extensive. I think I've read The Priory of the Orange Tree by Shannon something, which I didn't really like that one. But it also took me months to read it, and I wasn't in the right mindset when I read that one. So maybe it's just me that's just like, ugh. What do you think about that? Yeah. So like, if you guys have like any suggestions, that would really help for like somewhat, we'll just say middle fantasy, like not too in there, but at the same time, like it's in depth enough that I'll be like, oh, it's so good, because like I really just need something because I just don't know. Like, I want to read for you guys. I really do. But I kind of want to. Reading for me right now just feels performative. And it hasn't ever felt that way now until now. And that's kind of like, even though like I haven't been recording it, it still feels like I'm just kind of reading just to read. And I don't like that feeling at all. So, yeah. If you guys have any reading suggestions that will possibly get me out of my book burnout, my book slump, I would really appreciate it. And if you guys have any like tips on anything that I've talked about really in this video. So I'm going to try to keep recording, but at the same point, I'm not going to force myself to record if I don't want to, because obviously right now my mental health is more important to me than what this is right now. And I don't want to keep just drilling myself to the ground because I'm already super, like, very unhappy with, again, everything. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for this little chat. Thank you guys for listening. This is probably going to be, like, just raw. Like, I'm probably not going to edit this at all. I don't have the energy to. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that next one may be.